Good morning, everyone. Let me make sure YouTube is going. Did anyone get an email today? Thanks, Adam. All right. Thanks, Forrest. See some no's, a lot of yeses. Oh, nice, Joy.
There we go. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Good day, everybody. Good day, everybody. Let's give the room a few minutes to fill up, and then we will start. And I hope you guys uh, all made money on Tapestry, and I hope you made money on TEM, and I hope you made money on that S&P trade we gave earlier. Jesus, we've been busy today, Matt.
Sure
And
have
then some
been.
of you, for good measures, took exited Netflix in the morning. I'm going to be honest with you. Aside from putting on one trade or two trades, I'm going to show you what I've been doing all day today. I'm not joking. Let me show you guys this. I'm going to just kind of briefly show you this, but I think today I broke all records. So this is between, and then I don't know what Matt's posting there, but let me show you. This is today. Look, this is today. Okay, today. It started off as a good day. So this is this morning. This is Matt. I told you I need a literally need an assistant.
Yeah.
This is this morning, folks. This is still 2 hours ago. I just want to show you what I've been doing all day today. We're not even halfway over yet. We're not even halfway over. This is just today, okay? This is so far. It's only noon. That's my testimonials for today. I'm going fast. Okay. Woo. And I still have 12 that I haven't gotten through yet. I think I actually will need a testimonial assistant. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, I type fast, yes. Thank you, Petro. Who would have thought it would have been this way when you first started coming here 7 years ago? All right, I got that going on. Let me put this here. So there was a few things I wanted to talk about. Clyde, it was all Clyde this morning. He was that could work, Adam. Clicking on testimony. I do have a separate Brett, I have a separate, they gave me a separate Slack channel just for my testimonials. Look, it's not a joke. Look, Testimonials right there. Just my own testimonial channel. I don't know if other guys have it, but I actually literally have my own testimonial channel. But yeah, you're right. I probably will need a make sure you get all those, Matt. Those are great.
Hmm.
Those are great. Hey, Naples fan. Hey, James. Hey, Patrick. How you doing, Kevin, Eduardo? You guys are great. Good morning, and good morning. I have amazing students. You need to talk to Clyde about those nerve testing trading zone trades. Yes. Yes. The Clyde. He's very frisky. Hey, Michael, how are you? All right. So this was the trade that we took. I'm still bullish on it. Nothing has changed. I like this trade quite a bit. It's got a nice little foundation here. Run came from trading zone. It did. It did. It did. It did. We had a very nice trading zone. Everything's been nice this morning. The pit's been nice. The trading zone's been nice. It's all been nice. All been nice. Been very nice, actually. So first things first, I promised I would give you an update on, first of all, how many people we got here? Only 35 and,
298.
oh, all right, they'll come. So it's a good update. This is from last night. I've been saving it and saving it and saving it. And now it's finally ready. So they updated it last night. This is hot off the press from forward Zach's. Total earnings, we already have 419. How fast we went through this. 419 members that have reported results. They're up 12.2% from the same period on 4% higher revenue. 73% have beaten EPS and 61 have beaten revenue. My biggest concern is not the beating revenue or the percentage of stocks beating revenue. My biggest concern, not yet, Bill. We still haven't. Everybody's been pretty happy with TradingView, to be honest with you. You know, it just creates more work for us. That's what it is. Let's continue this. So, getting back here, I don't like the fact that revenue is only up 4.1% higher than a year ago. That worries me quite a bit. Go ahead and post that, Matt. That's a good one from Vivek. That's a good testimonial. Thank you. Quarter two. Now, for the total of the year, we're expecting 6.4% on 3-point higher revenue. So far, in principle, we're doing okay. But again, I don't like the fact that revenue numbers are becoming smaller and they're shrinking. If you guys recall, yeah, I am sharing my screen, actually. I see it on YouTube right now. You will recall that last couple of years, revenue was 12, 15, 16% higher. I don't like this 3.9%. It's too little of very, very little. That's good, Moondog. The dollar is 51 points over par. That's very good. The more deal he makes, the better. Although I haven't heard any specifics about this deal. But hey, I'll take whatever I can get. Okay. The second quarter earnings from tech sector appears to have reversed course over the last 2 weeks, with estimates starting to come back up. They were coming down, now they're coming back up. The expectations at present is for second quarter for the S&P to increase by 6.4% over on 3.9 higher earnings for the tech sector. So the tech sector is really the linchpin here. Nathan said he listened to the whole thing. I haven't listened to any of it yet. No, I wouldn't add anything. I don't add when it goes against us. I only add when it goes our way. Okay. Tech sector earnings are expected to be up 12.8% and 9.9 higher revenue, which they've changed quite a bit. So they were moving down a few weeks back. They're now starting to move back up. That's very, very, very bullish. Very, 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 very bullish. Okay? That's good. That's good. Also, we don't seem to be hearing all the negative from not as much negative from chips. So I'm hoping that what all the negative from AMD and other chip stocks is starting to get priced into the market. And that means Nvidia won't have as much of an impact. But I wanted to go through this with you because this is important. So I don't like that revenue is only expected to be roughly 4% higher. EPS I'm fine with. 6% is fine. But this is not good because that creates vulnerabilities for us, okay? New pope elected. Who's the new pope? Matt, you and I, we got to start listening to news, you know? I don't think they believe me when I tell them I don't actually listen to news, but I don't. I did not say any problems with TradingView. I did not say anything like it. I did not say that, Phil, no problems with TradingView at all. AB Handy side says 76% profit on SPY. Go ahead and post that, Matt. No problems at all on TradingView. The only thing I'll say about TradingView is if you like TradingView, they got some crazy deals during the holidays. They like to give 70% off during holidays. So if you're looking to upgrade, holidays is a great time to do it. That's all I know because they always send me these crazy coupons for like 70% off. No, Cyrus, I don't need to listen to news. The price action, you guys, and my bar charts tell me everything I need to know. Yeah, I really don't. Pope election was fast. Yeah, it was very fast. Well, they want some stability. Thank you, Roger. Made over 4-digit profit this morning. Why don't you go ahead and post that, Matt? That's a good one. I like that one. It's very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. Nobody's complaining today. Look at that. Does anybody have anything negative to say about anything? Anything at all? Before we begin? Yes, Carlos. Yes, please tell me. Yes. Harold, not at all. No one voted for me for Pope. Listen, what are you going to do? Where were you before I joined? I was trading for the Bronfman family. I was making money for a billionaire family. I was a trader for them till 2008. Only that I didn't hold my mess longer. Matt, look at that. 48% profit. Go ahead and grab that, Matt. Should have made 10 times. Oh, you should have made 10 times more. Yeah. All right. Mm. Yeah, Powell's not doing it. He stuck it to him yesterday. I'm upset you all knew about this 7 years and no one found me, told me that I needed to be here. Ruthie made 160%. Go ahead and grab that. Mark says, I didn't have a profit zone. I was looking for a clue from the pit. Mark, I gave you just today two profitable. We took a profit on TRP. Yesterday, we took a profit on Netflix. We took a profit on TEM this morning. How many profits do you want? This is all like in the last 24 hours. How and where and when do I find your alerts? Marty, go to customer service. They'll hook you up. Hey, guys, do you know who the new, do you guys know who the new Pope is? Do you guys know who the new Pope is? I'd love to know who the new Pope is. You've been scuba diving. Hey, Scuba Chris, you were underwater basket weaving with Clyde.
I don't know that we have who it is yet. We just got the white smoke.
Oh, Ottawa Mary Tamir says, sometimes I mess up my orders. I'm going to tell you something. Hey, Samson, when I started out as a broker, For my first 6 months, I was a broker. Then I opened up my own brokerage firm, but I started out as a broker. And I'm gonna tell you, and I've told this to folks many, many times. This was actually part of my boot camp, Ottawa. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. 20% of all trading losses are a result of order entry errors. And if you guys have been with me for any extended time, you've heard me say this before. The name has not been pronounced yet. Okay, got it. Good. Nice. Jerry made $1,500. I like it. I posted that one, Matt. All right. So good. Yeah, 20% of all trading errors, all of your money loss is a result. 1 in 5 trades is a result of fat finger errors, mistake, going long, going short. Yeah, TradeSync has labels for mistake. So I'll tell you a funny story. Well, it's not that funny. One time, so I was trading when I was a broker. One of my first clients was AV Painter. Do you guys know who AV Painter is or was? I don't know. I don't think she's alive anymore. I doubt she's alive. She was old back then. Do you guys know who AV Painter was? Anybody know who AV Painter was? She was the head of the she was the head of the Consensus Bureau of the U.S. Consensus Bureau. Now you know she was the head of the U.S. Consensus Bureau. So she always gave me very interesting facts about the consensus. I think she might have been already like retired at that point. But anyway, she was a really nice lady. She must have smoked a lot because she had this voice like this. You know, she talked like those grandmothers, smoke like this. Remember, this was 25 years ago, 26 years ago. No, this was 27 years ago. So this is a long time ago when people still smoked and did all these things. Anyway, getting to a story, one of the first orders she placed was a Japanese yen. It was a 25 lot of Japanese yen. And and I got too excited. I wanted to get the order in. And I placed the order. I placed a short instead of going long, 25 Japanese yen. And I was very, very lucky that the position made money. Now, any debits or credits go to your error account. You have a house account. So it's like any mistake, anything that's not supposed to be there goes into your error account, good or bad. So I was lucky, but boy, oh boy, that was a $30,000 gain. Could have been a loss like that. So anyway, it happens, folks. It happens. This was when I was a child, I was 27, 28. I was a kid, but it happens. It happens. Okay. Now, a lot of you guys wanted me to tell you my routine. I'm going to tell you my routine. I don't have that many stocks actually on my watch list one way or the other. I have some. I have good ones, but not a lot of them. And I like this TEM quite a bit, actually. I still like it for a swing trade. Remember, any stock I give you for a day trade, I like for a swing trade. Yes, Bodine. She sounds like Marge Simpson's sister. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. You know, Matt, something about this color makes my face purplish. It happened this morning at my house too,
Hmm.
on the video screen. Yeah,
Same camera, right?
same camera. Funny enough, yes, same camera. Crossing price crossing down VWAP for one day. If you guys do VWAP alerts, do them for one day. If you do 8-day EMA alerts, do them for 1 week. So let me show you purple patch with all the deals. There you go. Brian says, I think there's another vote today for the Pope. I don't know, but the faster they get that done, the better it'll be. 1 second. Ah, there may be a trade here, Matt. On a pullback, Philip Morris. Eight line right here.
Could be.
Yeah, there could be a trade. Could be a trade here. Let me see Philip Morris if Ultra is doing this. Sorry, folks. We're just talking. We're just thinking out loud. Um, so let's talk about this. So the first thing I do is I wake up at 7 o'clock every morning. And if I don't wake up, my daughter wakes me up. God bless her. And usually I go to sleep at about 11, 10:45, 11 o'clock. Wake up, I take a quick shower. I say hi to my cats and dogs, say hi to my wife when she's home. Sometimes she's at the gym or whatnot. And then I go upstairs to my office and I start getting everything ready for the session, for the 8 o'clock session. The 8 o'clock session is where I really get my footing. Spending that hour with you really, really gets my footing. While I'm doing that, I create a watch list. I create a watch list for the morning and I create a watch list for the afternoon. There's two watch lists every single day. And I go back and forth and I cross them and I update them and I do all that stuff. But basically, I allocate two pieces of paper for every day. Okay. As soon as I get to the office, I have my notes, I have everything. I start setting alerts on VWAPs or 8-day EMAs. If a stock is too deviated, but I like it, I'll set an alert at the 8-day EMA. Philip Morris was perfect example. I really liked Philip Morris. I want to buy Philip Morris. But Philip Morris was running a little bit too hot. Remember, Matt, 2 days ago, I wanted to buy Philip Morris?
Yep.
And you
Mhm.
said it's a little overextended. I said, yeah, let's wait for it comes down to the 8-day. I'll set alerts right here at the 8-day EMA, and I'll set them on a daily chart. Daily chart. Just go to 8-day EMA, set alert, and it'll be for 1 week. 1 week. And I want to see price cross I want to see price crossing. Yeah, there's my alert. How does it? I'll talk about that, Jim, in a second. So right here, right here, see how it's now at the 50-day line? So now I'm going to be monitoring it for strength. But but again, here on a daily, I'll set a 1 week alert. I don't want an alert. If it's too overbought, I don't need an alert for more than a week. If it hasn't done what I needed to do in a week, I need to reassess it or set another alert, which I have sometimes multiple alerts. Or 8-day EMA right here. If it was a stock like TEM, where I like the stock, I like the breakout, but I want to, but it's I don't want to chase it. I'll set an alert at the 8-day at the VWAP. I mean, and that'll be a 1-day alert, right? Like for example, I want price to be crossing down the VWAP, right? 1 day. If it doesn't do it in 1 day, I don't want it anymore. I don't care about the stock tomorrow. I want it today, today, today. Now, someone asked me, how did these stocks get on my list? Well, two ways. In the morning, I look at it right here. I go to my 52-week high, 52-week low, 20-week high, 20-week low, 50-day high, 50-day low, my A lines, 90-day high, 90-day low, and then I use this as a barometer for how many stocks are breaking out. And we actually have over 100 stocks for the first time today. 50-day high, you could see it right here. You could see right here, still only 61 stocks making a 52-week high. But this number's getting better. It's at 108 now, not at a 50. That means we are starting to see some follow through, like Microsoft, for example, like TEM. Where did I get this stock? Let's see. Let's think about that for a minute. So that's what I would do first thing in the morning. That's what I would do first thing in the morning. Then, as the day goes on, we shouldn't have liquidated this Groupon, but earnings, who would have thought? Um, anyway, the point is, I look at these every morning. Okay, I look at these every morning. Then during the day, I don't look at them very much because they're delayed, and I don't look at them first. The last thing you want to do is look at this when the market opens because you got a 15-20 minute delay over here. So they're not going to help you. What will help you in the morning? Oh, here we are. See, I have scanners right here. And I have, for example, I don't know, you can't see it right here. I got to raise this up. But here you could see stocks trading above the 50-day high, stock trading below the 50-day high. And here I have stocks trading below the 90-day. And I don't really need anything beyond that for during the day. 80% of the time, and here I got my volume buzz too. So here, let me show you how I do it. So I start here. See, this list is tied to this list. So look, as I go down here, my stocks update on the other list. You see that? And most of the time, it'll be exactly the same stocks that I already wrote. But now I'm saying, oh, which ones have higher volume than usual? Okay. Oh, look, Carvana. Look at volume. It's buzzing. And you don't want to go too deep in the weeds. That's the problem with most folks is you guys go too deep into things. In trading, you know how you have the 80-20 rule and everything? In trading, it's more like the 95-5% rule. 5%, everything else, just avoid it. So here you could see these stocks all have higher than average volume. So they're more important than, say, these stocks right here because they have lower volume. So if some of my stocks on my list have lower volume, I may just cross them over. But if the chart looks really good, I may leave them on. The point is, try to be as flexible as you can coming into the session. Okay. And then, oh, here's my 90-day breakdowns. They're actually right here. So here's the breakdowns, 90-day and 50-day. That's all I care. And I have it on my high cap 1000, which is the most liquid 1000 stocks. Pretty much the same stocks. I have about 900 of these, 850, 900 of them in the Pro Trader dashboard scanner. Same stocks. We're looking at the same stocks. Then I go through my levels with you. By the time I'm done speaking with you guys for an hour, I have a pretty good idea if I'm biased to the upside, downside, or if I have no idea where the market's going. And usually I'll have a very strong bias or no bias. I don't really have days where, well, maybe we're going to go down. Well, maybe we're going to go up. Either I'm like, we're going to go higher today, or I think we're going to go lower today, or I just have no idea what we're going to do. I'm pretty extreme on that. So I don't really have a lot of times where where I don't have a strong bias. I either have a very strong bias or I have no bias. Okay? Like coming into today, I had no bias at all. I mean, look at this. Between the 50 and the 200-day moving average. We're in this little area here. You had hardly any stocks breaking out today. I had no idea what Trump was going to say or do. Very little bias today. Very, very little bias today. Can you please select one stock and show what you're looking at daily and when you to the 5? Yeah, I do it every day, Gigi, but I'll show you right now, for example. So let's take Etsy. Here's Etsy. Etsy's coming up right now. It's above this level. It's in a gap right now. Okay. So let's say I was looking at Etsy, and I'm not huge on finding stocks that are bottoming out, except when the lows are getting higher. I like when the lows are getting higher, and it's got plenty of room till the 100-day here. So I would wait. That's the daily. Now, if I don't like it on the daily, I don't really care about the 5-minute. I wouldn't even look at the 5-minute. So Palantir, this is a good example because I actually want to buy this stock. So Gigi, why don't I give you an example on a stock that I missed and one that I actually want to buy? How about that? So here's Palantir. I think Palantir is going to go back and test a high. Okay. And I do. This is a real example. I actually do believe that. It's the number one stock on my list, the number two stock on my list, but only because I added GE a few minutes ago. So I really like this stock. And, so I like it. Now I'm going to look here. So I need to put an alert at the VWAP for 1 day only. And I want the VWAP to be, I want price to be crossing down the VWAP, okay? Price to be crossing down the VWAP. If it happens today, I'll reassess it and I may buy it. That's how I would look at it. Richard says the dailies they alert me to look at the 5-minute. If it looks bad, why would you? Exactly. So I don't really look at the 5 minutes. Matter of fact, I don't pay any attention on the 5-minute for my watch list. They mean nothing to me at all. You going to go short around here, Matt, or are you going to wait?
I'm going to wait. It's lunchtime.
All right. Fair enough. So, yeah, I like Palantir and GE a lot. So let's look at GE for a second. Same thing with GE. I love how it's breaking out to new highs. I really like this stock a lot. No problem, Rick. I have no idea why I didn't buy it earlier, but I don't chase things. There's always another opportunity. Crossing down VWAP right there. Price crossing down VWAP 1 day. Now I don't have to look at it anymore. And you might have noticed sometimes when I go through my lists with you. No, Matt doesn't do much during lunch. He eats lunch during lunch. That's what you're supposed to be doing during lunch, eating lunch.
Everybody else is, which is why I don't trade.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't trade much during lunch either. Not because of that. I just usually wait till after 1:30. But anyway, the point is that's really I don't think if we can break up in the next few minutes, if we can break below, here's my 5 cents. If we break below 568.10, we have a good chance of hitting the VWAP. Here, let me show you. If we break right here, we break this level right here, we may be going all the way to 565.66. And I like longs right now. I do, even though we're getting close to the 200-day moving average on the SPY. I do like the longs right now, but uh, I'm not. Again, you got to be flexible. You got to be flexible. Got to be flexible. Okay. Um. All right. Any questions? Let's ask any questions. You guys are being great today. Nobody's cutting me, butting in, saying anything crazy. Carla, are you here, Carla? Is everything okay? If you're here, just let me know that you understand all this. If you're here, and if you want to, you don't have to. Anybody else? Anybody? Any questions, comments before we get into the stock? No, I don't trade on TC 2000. No, no, no. But usually I use Fidelity or Thinkorswim and Tradier too. All right. I don't really like mixing execution platforms and trading platforms because look, if one freezes, do you guys remember back in the 90s those TV VCRs? Do you guys remember? Phil says, "Yes, I get your alerts, but what trade do you make and how do you decide?" Phil, if you would tell me what program specifically for it would be a little more helpful. VWAP Palantir, you should be able to see it yourself. It's right here. 116.95-ish here. 116.87. Let me see if I can answer a few questions. Yes, Phil says, I get your alerts, but what trade do you make and how do you decide? Phil, I don't understand your question. If you get my alerts, then why are you asking me what trade? I don't understand. Like you're acting like we don't give you everything with the alert. Steven says I've subscribed for less than 2 days. I'm totally lost. Where do I go next? Customer service live would be a good idea. Bodine says couldn't use one part. Yes, yes, exactly. You remember those? I had a big pet peeve with that. I had a friend who had one. He had one of those little things, and he took it on a camping trip. And the VCR got stuck, and the damn TV didn't work, or the TV gets stuck and the VCR doesn't work. What's the fun in that? So when you trade, it's best to have a separate platform from your broker. For example, as a matter of fact, it's even better to have a separate computer with separate platforms. If Thinkorswim goes down, I have TC 2000 right here on my laptop. All I have to do is press one button. Okay? You couldn't use one part without the other. How do you day trade more than 3 days per week? Very easily, Dave. I press my button and I execute the trades. Vivek says the mechanics behind the alerts. How do you decide it was a good candidate? Venkat, I just explained that. You might go to the class that says how to select the best stock, which we've had 3 hours of so far. That's a separate class. Do you guys remember how to select the best stock? Do you remember that class? We've had it 3 times already. We'll have it again. Couldn't have it recently because we haven't had any good long stock. I was clarifying. Oh, you were clarifying when somebody was asking. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you. I understand. Multiple computers, multiple platforms. Exactly. You guys get it. Nestor saves the day. Nestor, it would be so much nicer if you could share this with everybody like I'm going to right now. Boom. Nestor saves the day. All right, guys. Hey, Harold, you still have the VCR, don't you? All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm starting to get this feel that Trading Zone Live is becoming immensely popular. like super popular, like the pit, like pit popular. Hmm. Interactive brokers. There you go, Phil. That's the way to do it. Yes, TradingView connects with Interactive Broker. They do. They do. Beyond Words popular. Good. Thank you, thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Joe. How do you allocate functions to platform? How do you allocate functions to platform? It depends on the platform, Rise. Depends on the platform. It all depends on the platform. Okay. All right. Now let me go through stocks that I have for you guys. What does go long SPY mean? Hey, Bob, let me ask you a question. Are you in the Trading Zone Live program? Have you gone through the 5.5 hour course? Did you go most of it? Well, why don't you go through all of it? And then if you don't understand what you just asked me, send me an email. How about that? And I'll gladly respond to you. I can answer your question in probably less than 10 words, but I'm not going to. I want you to finish everything. I never recommended Sophie, Michael. I never gave, yeah. Yeah. I don't know where you got Sophie from. Let's look at Sophie. You're holding Sophie? Why are you holding Sophie? And by the way, Sophie's going up if you're long. I don't know. You got to give me more information, Michael. Whose trade was it anyways? All right, guys, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. ABBV. Now, I wanted yesterday to do a bear call spread on this, and I asked Matt if he can find me something, and we realized that the spreads were really wide, and our risk would have been 4-1. Julia, you could do it at the same time. She's asking, so I first go through classes, ladder, then start here. You could do them at the same time. It'll all just kind of fill in the hole like this. The way I teach is more like this. And also, you can ask people questions here and they will answer. A lot of folks here have been coming every day for 7, 8 years. They can answer your question much better than I can at this point. And I'm not joking. Michael says you have Pro Trader dashboard showing Sophie. But Michael, what about everything else, the Pro Trader dashboard you're supposed to take into account? Like high volume, like the daily chart being above the 200-day moving average. Like, let's use this as an example. So Michael found Sophie using the Pro Trader dashboard. That's great. And I could see why it's a very strong stock. And it's still a very strong stock. But Michael, do you see something right above you that screams resistance, Mexico wall, resistance, the wall of Mexico? Boom. That's a resistance line here at 1390. And then if you look to the left, thank you very much. See, Kate, folks, if you're going to help, you got to put it to everyone so they can actually see what you're writing. You had a put. You did not get a put on the Pro Trader dashboard. And if you did get a put on the Pro Trader dashboard, what on earth would make you buy a put on a trend like this? Michael, you need to rewatch my video, my getting started video, 3 times. And you need to watch my how to select stocks video 3 times. That's 3 hours where I go through 300 stocks. That will teach you what stocks you should be picking from the Pro Trader dashboard. On top of me doing it here for you guys right now, which I'm about to start, which I'm still doing right now in real time. So let me show you, Michael. Let me show you my long list. GE. Do you see it? Where's the American flag? Below us. What's to the left of us? A void. We're at new highs. Maybe that's why I put it on my list. How about Palantir? It came back to the 15-day and now it's bouncing up and it's testing this area. That's a A-line pullback right there. Are we above the American flag? Bingo. How about Carvana? Bingo. Above the American flag. Nothing to the left. How about Etsy? Well, Etsy's got something here, but we got plenty of void till the 100-day line. And I said the only reason I like this is because it's making a double bottom. Let's continue. Tem, look to the left. Look to the left. Where's the American flag? Below us. How about UAL? Where's the American flag? Below us. We're above the 200-day moving average. We have a perfect void here. Look, all the way to right here. Profit target right there. How about Philip Morris? We're making new high and we're pulling to the 8-day EMA. That's an A line. How about Boeing? All-time high. Michael, I just gave you. Now, Michael, you come here every single day. And you've been coming here every single day for almost, if I had to guess, 2 years now. And you see me going through these long stocks every day. And every day they're all, and I'm not picking on you. Every day they're above the American flag. And I always tell you guys, if you're going to go long, go above the American flag, right? So all my longs are above the American flag. You're shorting a stock that's above the American flag. Look at all of my shorts, Michael. American flag. We're below the 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 American flag. Now, you see me do this, I don't know, 40 times a day. 40 times a day. 30 to 40 times a day. But you went short a stock. You went short a stock that's above or in the American flag. But why? But why? Who made you do that? I'm just saying, why? Why are you buying stuff that's crossing above, selling stuff that's crossing above the 50-day moving average? And Michael, we've known each other for quite some time. I'm not picking on you. I'm not messing. I don't have the energy right now. I'm tired. I'm just saying that. But you got to look beyond that, Michael. You got to look at the big picture. What you're doing is you're going to a bar and you're finding the most beautiful girl and you're asking her to marry you, and you don't even know if she's a woman or a man. Don't do that. Start here. Start here. Okay? Seriously. I know exactly what you're doing. You're looking like this instead of zooming out. Okay. All right. Can somebody ask Paulie, in order to get an answer, you got to do two things. First, you got to switch your thing from host and panelist so everybody could see you. Now, people can actually answer your question. Nestor says, when I received Roger's message, I bought 2 contracts, sold them at 2 different times according to Roger's instructions. I left the second as a runner, which was the one that gave me the most profit. Yeah, you did exactly what you should have done. No problem there. Before you guys look at Pro Trader dashboards, before you do any of that, learn to create a watch list of stocks. If you can't find a good candidate, if you don't know what a good stock looks like, forget the Pro Trader dashboard. Start looking at daily charts. Pro Trader dashboard does not use daily charts. Okay? And listen to what Richard just wrote. Okay. Let's continue. Where were we? We just started, right? Did we start already? Where did we go? What stock was I on, guys? That was it. So you guys asked me how I do it. What I just showed you to Michael is exactly how I do it. AbbVie. Thank you, Jill. So AbbVie. Let's go to AbbVie. Exactly, Art. But you got to start with the daily. You got to apply your Pro Trader dashboard to a watch list. And if Michael watches the video, he will see that I do that. That I don't start out with the Pro Trader dashboard. Or if I do, the first thing I look at, and the only thing I look at, is the daily chart. Red, white, and blue. Red is 200-day simple moving average. White is 100 simple moving average. Blue is 50-day moving average. In order for me to go long on the daily chart, I want to be above the American flag. In order for me to go short, I want to be below the American flag. I've been telling you this for years, and my charts have not changed in years. Okay, all right. The devil made him do it. Exactly, Naples fan. All right. So, um, let's see how the spreads are on this thing. They were nasty yesterday. I really wanted to give you a bear call spread, and it would have made money, but too spready. 71 put, 195. Strike price, May 30th expiration, AbbVie. Please don't do Merck and AbbVie since they have a correlation of about 93%, give or take. 71 Delta, 22 days to go, May 30th expiration, 82 puts. Michael, what date for what? For AbbVie? It was 20 so far my default date is May 30th, okay? Yeah, May 30th, May 30th. Conagra brands, not today, but maybe once it gets to the 8-day EMA, we'll set a little alert to it. Crossing. See, I get some work done while I'm with you guys here. Okay. And for this stock, obviously this will change, but May 30th, 69 Delta. Not bad spreads. 24 puts. 1 second, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Right here, yeah. 24 put. Now let's one last one. Last one. HP. Look, Michael. Look. Red, white, and blue above us. What happens to the left? What's here to the left of us? We broke this low. We broke this whole compression. And now we're coming down. Problem is we're above the VWAP. But I wouldn't even look here at the VWAP on a 5-minute chart if this did not look perfect. Now look. What do I have to the left of me, Michael? You see anything to the left of me? Now you guys are learning. Is the trend nice and smooth and predictable? Yes. A complete void. Yeah, the American flag terminology is perfect, and it makes sense. Don't short stocks that are trading above the American flag. Don't short stocks that are below the American flag. You can't use this on a white background though, because the white. But yeah. Anyway, but Michael, this should give you a really good idea. See, look to the left. We broke down. Now I would want to see us go back to this level and start really volume coming in around this level. But I would set an alert here. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Zoom user, if you don't know what the VWAP is, go to Customer Service Live. They'll explain it to you. Or buy the full-time trading bootcamp. You will. It's the best $400 you will ever spend. It is the best $400 you will ever spend. By the way, it's a nice looking chart too. Going to an option on this one, 43 days out. They only have monthly options. So they would have to be around 22.50 or 20. Okay, now let me give you my longs, okay? GE, which I'm waiting for the VWAP. I really like GE quite a bit. Merck, yes, Hannah, it still is. I would wait a little bit to see how it reacts later today, but I like it. 22 days out, 67 Delta, 210 call. Wait for it to go to the VWAP, please. Look to the left. You see, Michael? Nothing to the left. And Michael, I am not picking on you in any shape, way, or form. I'm just trying to get you to learn this stuff. That's all. Please don't take what I'm saying I know some people take what I say like I'm picking on them. I'm not. I'm not picking on you. Okay. PLTR. I like the stock. I am yeah, good, Michael. Good. I like the stock. I like GE and I like Palantir. And if the market look, here's what I'm thinking. If this market comes off to the VWAP today, there's a good chance that these two stocks will fall to the VWAP. So I already have an alert set. Look, I'll prove it to you. See? Palantir, GE, Conagra, HP, all the stocks that we've been talking about. See, I have another one on GE here. I have a couple on Tesla. And usually see, these are already expired right here. These are active. And I clean them every week. TC2000 makes them really easy to use these alerts. And I know that TradingView does too. Yeah, what Richard just says, it's just part of learning. That's all this is. Please don't take this the wrong way. I love to teach people. So people take it like I'm signaling them now, but I'm not. Good, Jeremy. Good. Makes me very happy. So here, Palantir, this will change, obviously. And you could do a spread if you want to. You could buy the 119 and sell the 123 for $2. 120 versus 123. Excuse me, $1.50. $1.50. 22 days to go. Okay. Or you can just buy the 67 calls for 11.85, which is actually pretty reasonable. And we have a pretty good upside here. We have about 6 points till we get to the top, back to the top. Here, if you want to rewatch this session, here's a link. Jeremy, here's a link for everybody who wants to rewatch this session. You can pause it, watch it. Volt is still now. Volt today. Look at the Volt today. Strong, real strong. And look at the SPY. It deviates from it, comes right back. Deviates, comes back. Always comes back to the Volt when the Volt is trending. Okay. I'm giving you guys a lot of bacon today. Carvana. I like Carvana. Look to the left, Michael. Look. See how it's right there at the highest point? You may want to wait a little more. It hasn't fully broken out yet, but it looks like it's getting ready to. Still has resistance right there. It needs to break out a little higher. We'll skip this one for now. I'm sure you are familiar with this stock. I gave it to you at 62 something this morning. All of you made money. Nice, Robert. Very nice. You know, be patient with yourself if you're just joining now. So I like the stock a lot. I think it has more upside to go. Otherwise, I wouldn't have given it to you. I would be going out 22 days to a delta of 67, 60 call right there. Scuba says, when you give stocks in the pit, how far should we go on options? And I've answered that question many times, but here's your answer. If you are going to day trade between 4 and 7 days out, not 3, which means if it's a Wednesday, you could still buy. If it's a Tuesday, you can buy Friday's expiration, but if it's a Wednesday, you got to go to next week. So anywhere, if you're day trading, if you're position trading, meaning you're holding overnight, you're swing trading, then 3 weeks out, that's what we're doing right now. Both times delta is 0.70, near 0.70, 0.68, 72, near there. That's really what it is. Okay. Now, if you want to, we did 350 trades or 350 something trades in the pit, not including the bonus trades. And the bonus trades have had just as high of an accuracy of winners, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but my bonus trades have been winners. The bonus trades have been winners. I'm kidding. I'm tired today. I am tired. I'm starting to, because I was in New York last weekend with my wife, and I've been trading a lot this week. Well, what I wanted to say was, anyway, the bonus trades have just as high of a win rate. So, the point of all of this is that here's some information for you that make you decide which way you want to go. The win rate on day trades has been about 74%. But I cheat and I hold my day trades overnight when they go against me, and my win rate is 94.4%. So if you buy so here's what you could do. You can either make all your trades day trades, right? And then you can buy cheaper options, and you'll have twice as much gains. But your win rate will be about 74%. Your risk will be very small because you're cutting your position at the end of the day. Now, we have a lot of guys that do that, and they're very, 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 very happy. Then we have guys that do what we do, or what I do is I assume all trades will be a swing trade. I give you guys an early exit, but I tell you you could keep holding this, just like this stock. Look, we already got out with a nice juicy profit this morning, right? But I'm telling you right now that I still love the stock for a swing trade. 9.5 out of 10 times, I've been doing that, right? You will all admit that I've been doing that for 2 years. I'll give you a profit target and I'll say, hey, I still like this stock. I still like this stock. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Richard goes out 3 weeks and he buys about $2,000 worth of a position for each position. That's what he does. Okay? But Richard usually liquidates only partly when I tell him to get out on the day trade. So, Steven says I mainly do swing trades. I get about 95% win rate. Okay. There you go. So what you guys do is up to you, but it's my job to give you the numbers. So I went up to my guy and I said, calculate for me out of the 350 trades, if we closed out long or short with a profit or a loss, it would have been 74% win rate on day trades. But then your gains can be much bigger, because you can buy an option that expires tomorrow if you wanted to, or Friday or whatever. But my rule of thumb is, even if we hold a position for 5-6 hours, if you buy an option that has less than 4 hours to go, you're going to get a decay. So I prefer you buy an option that has more than 3 days to go. So if it's Tuesday, buy Fridays. If it's Wednesday, buy the following Fridays. I'm giving you guys so much value right now. It's amazing. Hope you guys are valuing this. All right, let me continue. So I would go 22 days out, about 3 weeks out, as I always say. 67 delta, 60 call. Let's continue. UAL, nice breakout, making higher highs. We don't have clearance above the 100, but my target here would be the 100. Okay. So am I in love with this stock? No, but I really like how it's looking today. I probably would take it. I'm not going to chase this market, but if something comes back, I'm going to look for shorts when I get off with you. I'm going to look for shorts because if something is breaking down right now in a market that's this strong, the odds are institutions are selling the shit out of it. Excuse my French. Or I'm going to wait for a pullback to the VWAP, and I'm going to hope that some of the stocks that I'm setting these alerts on will hit. And then we can have a little fun in the sun. Capiche? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? I'm being pretty clear here. Whoops, I said it for a week, but it is what it is. Yeah, a lot of nuggets today. Replay link for today. Here you go. Here's a replay link. Now, let me give you a few more things. Here's the replay link for you guys. Let me continue this. For this, I would like to go 22 days out, 67 delta, 77 calls. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Very nice. No, don't break the rules, Sean. Don't break any rules. Don't double dip on Wendy's. Just take it as it comes. Let me give you another one. Philip Morris, Matt and I are going to look at this later today. I'd like to see it above the VWAP. I'd like to see it starting to move higher, but I really like this. We used to do this pattern right here that you see on GE all the time. About 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, in Alpha Zone Pro, not Alpha. I don't even remember the name of the service anymore. But anyway, we used to do these trades.
Top alpha stocks.
Top alpha stocks. Thank you. So I don't want to give you this till it's ready. It's not ready yet, but it's baking. It's simmering. And Boeing. I like Boeing right now a lot. By the way, do you guys want to know for me what the most difficult day trading stock in history has been? Matt, nobody's ever asked me that before, ever.
No, they haven't.
Nobody's ever asked me that. You guys know what the hardest stock to day trade is? Even Matt's never asked me that question. Do you guys want me to tell you? You guys are going to laugh at me when I tell you. So, for me, this is for me. Before the stock split, it was Amazon. I was not good at trading Amazon before the stock split. After the stock split, Amazon became much easier to trade. No problem. But the most difficult stock for me to trade in the world in day trading is Caterpillar. Okay. And every time I think about Boeing, I always think about Caterpillar. Caterpillar and Boeing to me are like Oracle and Cisco. They're like the opposite side of the same coin. But the most difficult stock, because it's just the market makers are just really tough. They're just amazing traders. It's a very difficult stock to trade. And if you talk to some professionals, Michael, a lot of them will share my sentiment. So just be careful on Caterpillar, and you'll notice I don't give you Caterpillar a lot. By the way, um, let me give you an option here, and then we'll conclude. Now, we're going to have a little webinar in here, so I don't want you guys going anywhere. We're going to have a day trading class right now. It's going to be streamed. But for Boeing, we got 0.74 delta, 185 calls. Okay. Now I'm gonna unshare my screen. Now I know a lot of you guys are looking for high probability trades. We're gonna have a live class right now. I mean, a recorded class right now, and you guys will see some cool stuff. But I want you to keep something in mind. Tesla is one of the hardest stocks to trade technically because they have amazing market makers. You're going against the market makers when you trade a stock. In this program that you're going to see this for right now, we did 12 Tesla trades out of 350 trades. And you know how many losers we've had? Zero. We've had zero losers in Tesla. Zero. So the pit has been doing very, very well for us, and I want you guys to get value out of this. Now, who's in the room? Is it you, Joho? Jono, is it? Sorry, not Joho. Jono, is it you? Who's going to share this webinar with us?
Yeah, I'm going to be sharing that for you now.
Perfect. So you go ahead, folks, pay attention. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'll be looking at stocks in the background right now. Don't miss this class. This is going to be a really good class, and you'll be able to see exactly how we nailed 12 winners in a row on Tesla and how we were able to generate a win rate close to 95%. I'll be here in the background with Matt, and you Jono, I think it's muted.
All right, let me fix that.
To you. This crystal ball from T-Buzz. I thought it was going to be 100% accurate. Found out it was only about 70% accurate. You know why? It was made in China. And I suspect parts were even made in Taiwan or maybe even Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? So nothing is 100% foolproof. Not even my, my predictor here. So it's a tool for traders. It's not a trading service, and profits and performance is going to vary amongst users. Okay. Now, folks, let's be real here. There will be losers. There's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades automatically. The whole purpose of my research and work is to help give you guys an edge in the markets. If you can't handle losing trades, you should paper trade till that post-traumatic stress experience comes off of your subconscious. It'll take some time, but it will happen, okay? Now let's begin. My name is Roger Scott, and I want to thank all of you for being here. In a moment, I'll share with you my top seasonality stocks for May. Yes, I will. The top seasonality stocks for May, and I call them my 10-day holds. That's my wealth window hitting as soon as this week. Before I share these stocks with you 100% free of charge, let me show you how our seasonality software finds opportunities just like this, okay? Take a look at this sheet. That is a sheet. Now, to you, it may look really random, right? But notice. See how right here it's a bunch of green in a row, a bunch of green in a row, a bunch of red in a row, some red in a row. Well, red in a row. Those are all patterns. What you're looking at is the exact return each day of the year for Netflix, okay? Over the last 2 decades, okay? Now, at first glance, it looks like just a lot of data to process, right? It does. It just looks like a bunch of data. But by skimming for the big green wealth windows, the big apples, the big green apples, as I like to call it, you see right there. See how there's a window right here, a window meaning there's several days where it's just all green, okay? Several days where it's just all green. So we can isolate these bullish dates and we can compare them to each year. And a computer can do that very, very fast. And we can do it over and over again. For example, on January 21st through January 27th, there's a wealth window. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days that were all green. Had someone placed a trade during those days that year, you could have seen big moves on Netflix. I hope you're writing these dates down. January 21st through January 27th. That's a seasonality period. That's a bullish seasonality period for Netflix. Write it down. There's a good setup right here, Matt, maybe to the long side, just FYI. I'm not watching what you're doing, just FYI. Ah, oh, do I know my people? And anybody trading the options could have bagged a 133% return. Very nice, right? What about March 14th through March 20th? 58% in 6 days. May 8th through May 12th. How about that? I hope you're writing these days down, my friends. I really hope you're writing these down. June 26th through June 30th, another wealth window. Doesn't lie. Now, what most folks insist, yes, you guys insist on overcomplicating your trading with fancy indicators or news headlines. I wait for the system to show me wealth window dates in my favorite stocks, meaning there's a legitimate shot to target double, even triple-digit gains during those periods year after year, like what happened with NVIDIA February 7th through February 14th. Now, at the time, the stock was grinding higher. It was up 15% in just a week. But then China released the DeepSeek superior AI model, which uses far less computing power than ChatGPT, our competitor, and NVIDIA crashed 24% overnight. Now, most investors probably thought NVIDIA incredible run was over at that point, right? But my system signaled NVIDIA was likely headed higher. And that's because it entered a wealth window on February 7th. There's something about semiconductors in February, and I don't really know what it is, but there's something about semiconductors in February, okay? All right. That means the stock was primed for an explosive move between February 7th and February 14th. And sure enough, guess what happened February 7th with NVIDIA? It's exactly what happened. Ba-boom is what happened. 106% gain from February 7th through February 14th. Now, don't waste my time with financial statements. I don't get wrapped up in complex technical analysis. You're not going to be seeing me doing Fibonacci analysis. I don't spend any time at all watching financial news, as a matter of fact. A big part of what I do revolves isolating these wealth windows in my favorite stocks. They indicate when a stock has gone up on the same dates at the exact same time for decades. For example, have you ever traded Constellation Energy? Okay. At the end of last year, the stock wasn't receiving much love at all. But had you known about the wealth window in January, you would have put $2,000 into the option before January 25th in anticipation of a big move. Gone out, enjoyed the rest of your week doing the things that you love, like a round of golf with the boys, some quality time with the family, nice little relaxing day at the spa, then could have come back to an extra $4,900 in about a week by the end of the week, all by simply investing in CEG during these age-old wealth windows. And because my system can find these wealth windows on every single stock in the S&P 500, you can target these explosive opportunities as often as you want. Like Oracle, from June 11th through June 16th, 129% gain in 5 days. How about Kroger from March 1st through March 4th? I'm giving them to you, folks. I'm giving them to you. Better be writing them down. 93% in 3 days. Nice. How about Salesforce, September 4th through September 10th? 101% in 4 days. Expedia, April 26th, May 1st. I like that. 81% in 5 days. That's a wealth window. How about Host Hotel? November 29th through December 5th. Makes sense, right? Before the holidays, right? 133% in 5 days. $2,500 into each of those 5 trades would have paid out $13,461 in profit. Now, no strategy is going to win 100% of the time. There will be smaller wins, there will be smaller losers, and there will be bigger losers too, which is why you should never risk more than you can afford to lose. But with the cost of living literally spiraling out of control, childcare skyrocketing, mortgage payments back on the rise, food and energy prices through the roof, the average American now needs an extra $11,400 to cover the same cost of living as 3 years ago. But with these 5 trades, anybody could have covered that $11,400 and then had some moolah left over. Buckle up. Now I'm going to give you a straightforward way to isolate decade-old wealth windows in dozens of your favorite stocks. But I'm also going to share it with you, my top stock picks for May. Hot off the press. Hot off the press, I tell you. Let me introduce myself. I'm a former hedge fund manager. I've been doing this for 31 years. It'll be 32 years in January. I traded for the Bronfman family. They were the richest family in Canada and the 10th richest family in the world at one point. I traded for the youngest sisters. I partnered with Charles Kalamiris and Kevin Hassett. Kevin Hassett is the current senior financial economist and advisor to President Trump. And Charles Kalamiris is the Ivy League professor of Columbia for finance. They've both been advising the White House for about 30 years with little things like war and tariffs and, little details like that. I've shared my work with over 500,000 people. I've also worked with Tony Saliba and Curtis Faith. Both are considered market wizards. I regularly share my work with tons and tons of people, and I actually have a pretty good reputation for really knowing what I'm talking about. There are not a lot of them out there, folks. Now, before I share my top stocks for May with wealth windows hitting as soon as this week, first you need to understand why I'm so confident in these picks. Most people think there's only 2 ways to analyze a stock: technical and fundamental. Now, if you're new here, I'm pretty sure that you're probably a pretty savvy trader and you utilize both. But let me ask you a question. Are you on track to meet your financial goals this year? What about last year? Most traders I know underperform because they ignore third metric that's even more important: data analysis. And for what I've seen, data analysis can be more predictive than both technical and fundamental analysis combined. One leading research firm says data analysis can help investors uncover hidden insight, which can potentially lead to profitable investment opportunities. In short, it's the ability to find hidden trends and patterns in a stock's historic price data that you can't find using technicals or fundamentals. For example, take a look at Boeing back in September. If you're thinking this is the worst looking stock chart you've ever seen, it's up there. Now, for 2 months starting straight, Boeing was in a free fall. It was just going straight down. The 200 and the 50-day average were both down, indicating even more selling was on the way. And if things couldn't get any worse, Boeing bombed earnings on October 24th with a big miss. Ouch. Both fundamentals and technicals would tell you to stay away. But on October 27th, 2 days before my birthday, something happened that almost every traditional investor would have completely missed out on. Boeing entered a wealth window between October 27th and November 4th. How dare they? That means, according to my system, the stock had gone up on average over these exact dates for the past 34 years. Boeing and my birthday get along. Boeing likes to celebrate my birthday, I guess. You should write this down. Think about this. If it does it 34 years the majority of the time, there's got to be something there. And sure enough, what happened? Boeing ripped higher over the wealth window as expected. 177% gain in 7 days. Anyone without access to data analysis tools would have had no way of predicting this kind of price action. They wouldn't have known. They would not have known. But with my system, you could have invested $2,000 into the options before October 27th, stepped away from the screen, went on a road trip to some of your favorite places, enjoyed an afternoon on the lake, maybe some backpacking in the mountains, if you will, and by the end of the week, opened the brokerage account to an extra $5,540 before the weekend. No watching charts for hours or sifting through financial statements. Most traditional investors struggle because they rely on these stupid lagging technical indicators that were invented for the commodity market before the 70s. They don't take volume into account. They don't take sentiment into account. You got to use real indicators. And for what I've seen, these lagging indicators have zero ability to predict future price. They're not even so great at looking at back price, if you want to know the truth. It's literally like driving a car and looking at your rear view mirror. Chances up you're going to end up nowhere fast. Okay? Try driving a car and looking at your rear view mirror and see how far back you go. Data analysis is all about looking forward days or even weeks in advance. Like looking at your GPS in your car that tells you all the twists and turns coming even miles ahead. Think of it. Technical indicators are just a map showing you where a stock has been, a trail. But wealth windows are a forecast of future value. Take a look at Broadcom, AVGO. Stock was coming off a massive run, gaining 41% in just over a month. The MACD, oh boy, that MACD, don't even get me started with the MACD. Crossed over bearish and was picking up steam. The stock was still way above the 50-day moving average by about 10%. If you relied on these lagging indicators, you would have expected the stock to continue drifting lower. But 32 years worth of data analysis said otherwise. And sure enough, as soon as Broadcom entered the wealth window on January 5th, the stock took off like a rocket ship. Look at this, 81% gain in 5 days. Anybody could have invested $2,500. $2,500. Nothing crazy, right? Before January 5th in preparation of the big move, and closed the trade out 5 days later with an extra $4,525 in their pocket. Matt, it may be a lower high, just FYI, okay? Of course, nothing can predict the future with 100% certainty. But are you beginning to see why data analysis is so darn powerful? All you've got to do is invest with the stock before these age-old windows, wealth windows, hit, and that's it. Most traders can't trade this way because they don't have the right tools to find hidden trends and patterns in historic price data. It requires a programmer, a coder, and knowing how to read huge data sets to find opportunities like these wealth windows. Designing a system to track this can really cost a lot of moolah. And the fact is, 99% of people don't just take funds or have the funds or connections to make it happen on their own. The good news is, Matt, actually, we did this. I think Matt did this on his own. He created the data set for me. That way, you could start finding these wealth windows on your favorite stocks as soon as today. In fact, it's so straightforward to use that you don't even have to download a thing. Now, before I show you exactly how it works, here's how we created it. Matt pulled the price data of every single stock in the S&P 500 going back to 1990. 1990, okay? We're talking 35 years. That's over 34 years, 35 years of historic data. The goal was simple. Find consistent patterns in the stock market that have held true for decades. Now, you'll notice some stocks go up in the summer. Very, very typical. Some stocks go up in the summer. Some stocks go up in the winter. And you could look at the type of stocks that go up in the summer versus the type of stocks that go up in the winter. You could see for yourself, like Planet Fitness, New Year's resolutions, right? Scott Miracle-Go, people planting during the summer, pool equipment, people swim during the summer. Simple stuff. We discovered almost all stocks have wealth windows where they are likely to go up on the same date year after year. Let me show you. Take a look. Take a look at weekly advance of AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, okay? To the naked eye, it looks like a regular stock in a strong uptrend. But take a look at the biggest green candles before the bullish week of the year for AMD. Now, here's where things get interesting. 6 out of the 7 of the most bullish weeks of the year hit during those wealth windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means ever since AMD became a publicly traded company, the price has always gone up on average during those weeks. Now, when we find consecutive data of unusual increase in a stock's price history, a pattern that has remained consistent for decades, we call it wealth windows. And to take advantage of it, just place a trade before these historical dependable dates hit. For example, take a look at Adobe. Most people have no clue that Adobe almost always goes on a run during the 3rd week in March, all the way back to when it IPO'd in 1986. Not by a tiny little 1 or 2%. The underlying price has gone up by a whopping almost 10% during that 1 week alone. You should be writing that down. The middle week of March. For 34 years straight. In other words, the 3rd week in March is a wealth window for Adobe. You guys understand this? Very, very important that you guys actually understand this, okay? All right. Let me just close it. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through 34 examples, but here's what happened last year on the selected option, 189%. 5 years before that, look at that, 123, 31, 56, 87, 69, all on the same stock at the same time. Now, once you have the tools to find these hidden wealth windows in the stock market, all you got to do is place one simple trade before those dates hit, and then front run what could be a massive move up year after year. Watch it happen again, this time with Arista Network, ANET. 5 out of 6 of the most bullish weeks of the year hit during the wealth windows. Look at that. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5. It's not a coincidence, folks. Anybody who had the right tools to know those dates ahead of time could have made out big. We may be going to the VWAP, Matt. If you had bought and held the ANET during this time, $2,000 would have been $1,820 invested. But only investing during wealth windows with just these 5 quick trades, but boom, $10,660 in profit. That's nearly 6 times better than regular buy and hold. Now, as soon as you will discover the power of these windows, it's all hands on deck to get an easy to use tool up and running so my followers could find these extremely bullish dates on their own. We call it data miner. And here's how it works. Let's say you want to find the most bullish week of the year for your favorite stock during the month of February. Pull up data miner, type in the ticker, set the date for February, whatever date you want, and you'll see exactly if it's a bullish or a bearish period. You will see right there. It's as clear as day. The dates at the bottom tell you exact dates of the month, and the numbers on the left show you exactly how much the stock has gone up in percentage during that period of time. As you could see, February 7th through 14th is a very explosive week of the year for Enphase Energy. In fact, the stock has historically gone up 33% during this 1 week since it IPO'd 12 years ago. Check it out. Yeah. And guess what happened between February 7th and 14th last year? I hope you're writing that date down. The wealth window was right on the money again, 34% on pace with the average gain. Anybody who would have traded the selected option would have made 257% in 1 week, just like the last 5 to 6 years before that. It's not a coincidence, folks. Of course, in trading, There will be smaller wins and there'll be losers too. That's why you should never risk more than you can afford to lose. But it's not just ENPH. The data miner also works on hundreds of stocks, and we keep adding stocks to it too. Remember, you can look up the most bullish week of the year for every single stock in the S&P 500 and another 200-300 stocks and 50 ETFs that are all very nice. For example, let's say you wanted to find wealth window during the month of November for Monster Beverage. You type in the ticker symbol in the search bar. You set the dates for November 1st through November 30th. And just like that, you can easily find wealth windows for MNST during the month of November. And as you can see, the first 2 weeks in November are extremely bullish for MNST. The share price has gone up a whopping 30% on average during those 2 weeks for the past 24 years. Did you know that? Anybody who had data miner could have invested $1,500 in MNST this past November, went out, enjoyed some of your favorite activities, turned this wealth window into a nice payday, 134% in 4 days. And like they could have a year after year after year. And now at this point, you're probably wondering, how do I know which stocks are the best ones to trade? Nobody wants to spend hours in front of the screen looking for the perfect setup. So Matt and Brian went above and beyond to make finding trades very, very easy. Actually, Brian didn't have anything to do with this, but he may in the future version. We created special features that spoon feeds you trade ideas on a silver platter every single day. Top 10 list. Each day, the list shows the average return of the 10 best performing stocks on that exact day, going back 30 years. You'll find the list clearly displayed on your platform like you see right here. That way you can log in at any time, see the best trades available, and if one looks good to you, take 2 minutes to place the trade. More on that in a few minutes. First, let's take a look at one final example. Say you were trading Intel when it was ripping higher. Anybody buying and holding the stock during this day would have made 79%. But traders who put $2,000 into each of these wealth windows could have done 11 times better. 82% in 4 days, 118 in 5 days, 218 in 5 days, 72 in 3 days, 91 in 2 days, 211 in 6 days, 79 in 2 days. $2,000 would have paid out $1,520. I like that. 2,000 into the wealth window, you would have made over 17,000 in profit. I like that. I'll take that. That's 11 times more bang for your buck. So listen, all right? You can keep messing around with outdated lagging technical indicators that were created before 1970. You can keep digging through financial statements and trading off news events. You can keep doing that too. You can tap into what I consider to be the most powerful market force that exists, data analysis. Now, all by using cutting-edge trading tools to isolate wealth windows in your favorite stock. Data miner software. Now, to my knowledge, data miner software is the only tool in the world that can analyze over 3 decades of price action to find hidden windows in the stock market. And you can unlock it today and take your very first trade. Wow. Now, before I reveal my top stocks for May with wealth windows hitting as soon as this week, let me walk you through what you can expect when you unlock access to the data miner software today. Everything you need is found in the 24/7 members portal. That's what it looks like. And the program just opens up in your browser. You click it, it opens up, pops up. So it's browser friendly. It's very simple. And I'm also going to give you the getting started guide so you can literally hit the ground running as fast as possible. This is a complete tutorial on how to use your new data miner to find wealth windows on ETF stocks and commodities like coffee, cocoa. I'm going to be doing Bitcoin in the future. Oh, yeah. You'll want to check out the getting started guide right now because the truth is there's so much more you can do with data miner that I just showed you. For example, we implemented 4 additional custom-built strategies into the system. I wanted to make your life really easy so you wouldn't have to search or look through anything. Okay? Basically, you just press a button. It's called the 5-day hold or the 10-day hold. And look, it just gives you on the left right here, it gives you the best stocks. Right away, the strongest gaining stocks over the next 5 days or over the next 10 days. Now, does it get easier than that? No. Now, if you just want to trade wealth windows on your favorite stocks, you just stick to the calendar right here. But let's say you want to see what's the strongest over the next couple of weeks, hypothetically, or the next week or the next 2 weeks. Well, if you want even more trades, you got these 4 more strategies to choose from. The 5-day hold average looks at the stocks going back 30 years. Now, if you bought and held for exactly 5 days, closing price equals closing price minus raw hold. Okay, so it's just a 5-day raw hold. Then we have the exact same window for the 10-day period, the 10-day hold. We take the 10-day hold filter and supercharge it with my custom exit filters. So it's got to exit above previous high. And we look at the profit factor there. So we combine these things together to see really which one gives you the best one for each stock, which is really cool. Exactly the same as the S&P long, except to the downside. We exit the trade when the low takes out the previous day's low. And it tells you when that happens if you just follow it every day. And all of these features work with the top 10 today feature. That way, you always know the top stocks to trade, even on the day of the strategies that are giving you complete symbols. Everything is laid out clearly in your getting started guide. All right. You won't have any problem in your getting started guide. If you have additional questions, you can call our team. They'll answer any questions you may have. It's available in your members area. You can learn everything you need to know and watch replays. And I teach you exactly how I trade. Okay. And of course, you'll get VIP level customer support so that we can help you right away with any questions you may have. Bonus round. We're also going to give you cold spot stocks. So target downside stocks with data miner by finding cold spot, not hot spot, but cold spot stocks, dates on your favorite stock. Bear, bull, doesn't matter with data miner. Like back in February, data miner showed DXC technology was weak between February 13th and February 21st. In fact, it's gone down average of 8%. 8% that week for nearly a decade, okay? Anyone could have placed a trade on February 13th, closed it out February 21st by the end of the week, and made 109% on their money, all by taking less than 5 minutes to place one trade during this decade-old cold spot date. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the data miner, what is it going to cost you? Now, considering you can't get this anywhere in the world, plus the fact that we've spent literally tens of thousands of dollars developing it, I would easily sell it for $29.95, and I haven't even told you about a major upgrade that's coming your way. Now, here's the deal. I truly believe data miner is something every trader needs in their toolkit. So because you're here right now watching this class, instead of paying $29.95 per year, I'm going to slash $2,000 off. But I'm also going to do something really, really cool. I'm going to give you lifetime. That way, you see how I'm about to make an upgrade? If you had it, you wouldn't be buying, you wouldn't have to pay more money for it. But now after the upgrade, it's going to be more expensive. You'll be able to secure a lifetime membership for just $9.95. Now, I've got to warn you, the special expires very soon. When I say soon, I mean like the next couple of days. So if you're ready to procure access to the data mining software, to secure access to the data mining software, and save $2,000 and get lifetime, click the link in the chat. What are you waiting for? Data miner lifetime sale. And folks, I'm about to tell you the upgrade I'm gonna make, and this thing's gonna expire pretty soon. Click the link in the chat or go to rogerscott.com/data or give us a call at 904-706-3539. The rock bottom pricing won't be available much longer. Lock in your $2,000 savings and free lifetime upgrade while you can. I'm not kidding. It's first come, first serve. Get it now. Lifetime upgrade. And folks, that includes the major upgrade that I'm about to put in. This is going to be my last webinar. This week is going to be the last webinars that I do this before this new upgrade is coming. It doesn't just work on stocks. We also have ETFs in there, about 50, 55 ETFs, cocoa, orange juice, euro currency, the dollar. You understand? So we're going to put some cryptos in there as well. We're just waiting for more time to go by. But this way we can see seasonality on all the good things. Take a look at GLD, which we have in there, by the way, gold. You could see historically, gold goes up 14th of November through November 20th. Very, very important. Sure enough, guess what happened during those dates? GLD went on a smoking hot run, just like data miner predicted. 149% gain in just over a week. Enough to cover the cost of the membership by over 3 times of what we're charging today from just one trade. Don't wait. Save $2,000. Secure free lifetime membership upgrade to the data miner software while spots are still available. Get yours now. Now, folks are loving the data miner software. What do they say? Murmis, been using data miner since day one, just keeps getting better. Richard, I love data miner. I got data miner and love it. It's one of the most profitable trading programs. The beauty of the software is I use it to find trades and almost always verify trades. That's what I'm talking about. I highly, highly recommend data miner. Seasonality is one of the best strategies out there, Jason. Michael, data miner is the best. It's a great tool, and it's ridiculously priced for lifetime. I agree with you, Michael. Adam, data miner is very helpful. I purchased lifetime, have confirmed my trades with the program many times. It's super good price. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Eagle Beagle. Christopher, this is what all indicator studies and charting are all about. You need only one tool for it, and that's data miner. That's right. That's right. Ken says, this is a post-PhD from MIT giving me a testimonial. Data miner is an example of a top-level instrument he has developed and keeps developing, and I'm about to develop it some more. And Penny's also from MIT. Get your paws on the data miner software now. Data miner lifetime sale plus unlimited lifetime access. Important announcement. I've been using data miner to dish out trades for a little over a year to a program called Stealth Surge. Now, I wanted to show you what the numbers are. Look at the numbers. Look at the profit factor, beautiful profit factor, beautiful holding time, win rate 78%. It's a very, very nice system. And we use the data miner to drive this system. In fact, anybody who puts who invested $5,000 into each live option trade would have been up $54,000. That's right. Now, what do students say from Best Students Say? Took several trades March through June and made $25,000. Ben, I've made more money on Stealth Surge than any other service. Adam, if you're serious about making good returns, Stealth Surge is the real deal. I'm very happy with the system. Kip, my year-to-date return is 422.5%. Kathy, cha-ching! After you secure access to data miner, don't go anywhere. You'll have access to Stealth Surge alerts. That way, when life gets busy, I'll send you an entry and exit alert straight to the data miner. Don't miss this opportunity to secure your membership to Stealth Surge at the lowest price you will ever see. Data miner, $9.95. Folks, get it now. Get it now. Don't delay. Don't procrastinate. Don't make a big mistake by doing that, because the price is going to go up as soon as I upgrade it. And I'll tell you about my upgrades in just a few minutes, okay? Ooh, it broke out. It broke out, Matt. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Does my membership include future upgrades? Any features will be included. There's no additional charges for anything. So if I make this into a $30,000 program one day, which I may, you'll have access to it. Now, here's what I'm working on right now. I mentioned today that most folks do not have a good grasp of correlation. You do not have a good grasp of correlation. And most of you take trades that are way over correlated. So I've had it with this. So I'm going to create a matrix, a correlation matrix, and add it to data miner. So you guys will have a correlation matrix for about 700, 800 stocks. So you want to know how correlated Intel is with another stock? You'll know number. Anything over 0.66 is high. So you will see exactly how high the correlation is, and you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked to find out how correlated the markets are. Okay, so I'm going to be working for this for the major ETFs. It's about 50 ETFs and about 700 to 800 stocks. Okay. All right. So and it's going to be included. It's going to be included. Okay. And you will have access to that. It's not there right now. It shouldn't take us more than a couple of weeks or a month to get it going. It's very simple, but that data is very, very important. So I want to make sure you have it. The S&P correlation matrix will allow you to compare two stocks to see how correlated they are to each other. And it'll work on all 500 plus S&P stocks, all the NASDAQ 100 stocks, about 55 ETFs, and about 200 large cap non S&P 500 stocks. Stocks that you love to trade, but that are just don't have the liquidity, but have huge movement. Now, when you join today, you'll get the S&P correlation matrix at no charge, but it's going to take a few weeks to get there, okay? Remember, this is lifetime. How do I log into DataMiner? The same way you log into our website. You don't have to download anything. You just open it in a browser, okay? Are there training videos? Yes. I show you exactly how I came up with these trades, how I was able to generate this win rate, how I was able to generate the profit factor. You will get all of that, okay? All of it. Is there any sort of guarantee? Yes. There's a 14-day money-back guarantee. You could try it for 2 weeks. If you're not thrilled, you can ask for your money back, all right? What stock does the data miner work on? All S&P stocks, and I've included dozens and dozens of your favorite high liquidity stocks. I think there's about 200 non-S&P stocks there, okay? Can I compare multiple stocks? Yes. You can compare seasonality of multiple stocks at one time. You can do that. Folks, get it now. And as a thank you for being here, I want to give you some stocks. KDP, Dr. Pepper, Quest Diagnostic, and CME. All right. Very, 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 very important. All right. Very important. KDP, TGX, and CME. FinTech, healthcare, and consumer staples. Want even more opportunities? You got to go to rogerscott.com/data. Get yours now, 100% guarantee. And don't forget, you'll also get the cold spot stocks too. You'll get bullish and bearish stocks as well. And let's take some questions.
Hey there, excuse me. Hey there, Roger. Great presentation.
Thank you.
And I really do hope that people were writing things down because you shared an awful lot of information on wealth windows across, I think it was almost approaching 20 stocks,
Yes.
in your presentation. So one of the key questions that came up with Roger is, now that I've got this chart, is this something that I can trade either the underlying stock or the option with? And along those lines, do you help me understand maybe the best way to play an option on this?
Yes, the answer is yes to all of that. I show you exactly, you could do the underlying, you could do the option, and I show you under what situation is best, and I tell you about the strike price. I do all of that. I basically take apart Stealth Surge, which is the nucleus behind all of this.
Okay.
So that's exactly it. So I give you all of that. I give you everything you need to place the trade.
Incredible, Roger. And I know that you're so big on education, which is fantastic. I know that there's a lot of material that's on the site to help people get started with this, understanding what's going on. There's recordings of master classes. I know that occasionally you'll hold a new master class that people are invited to. And as you said, it's a key part of your program. I know for me, when I first saw this presentation, it never really dawned on me the data side of it, because so much of my life was just I'm a technical analyst. So
Right.
with the technicals, but to think that Matt and his team sat there and basically looked at 30 years of data to find out that every stock has a repeatable seasonality pattern. Of course, my question in my mind is, how is that possible?
Yeah, computer programming.
Yeah.
Computer programming. The upgrade is going to be correlation. I'm going to give you guys a correlation study, and I don't think people understand how correlated most of the stocks you trade are. I don't think you guys even understand. I think most people discount that and think it's not a big deal.
Yes, and so from that standpoint, if people don't understand exactly what you're talking about, what's the value of knowing that correlation, Roger, as a trader and investor?
Correlation is really important because correlation is everywhere. When you're trading stocks, when you trade more than X amount of stocks, you're basically trading the entire market. You need to be able to outperform the market, so you always have to be in the stocks that are outperforming the market. The problem is the average stock has a correlation of 0.66 to another stock. So you're literally just buying the same, you're just leveraging the same stock over and over again.
Mhm.
That was, by the way, the fact that Cathie Woods does not understand how correlation works is one of the reasons why she's in this mess. If you look at all her stocks, they're all medium cap growth tech stocks. So there's a lot of correlation there. So now if the market's moving your way, you're going to say, "Oh, I love correlation. It's my best friend," because you're going to triple your gains, right? But if it's going down, ay vey, you're going to lose 3 times as much. So it works both ways. It really does work.
Fantastic. And that's just an example, Roger, of what you say when somebody gets one of your programs, and particularly Lifetime, as you enhance the programs, you're paying $9.95 today. And as more enhancements may be coming down the road, you'll get those upgrades for free. We don't charge software maintenance or upgrade fees. You're basically locked in to how this program evolves over time. And as you said, Roger, this is a core seasonality program for you, and it's the driver for your Stealth Surge program.
Right.
And I think there was a question there. Some people, folks, this program is focused on the data miner, the actual platform, the tool itself. But when you sign up for it, you'll have an opportunity, if you want, to get Stealth Surge at a significant discount. And this is where Roger basically personally curates opportunities that he sees in the data miner, and he serves those opportunities up to you. So it's two
Right.
separate programs. And what's cool about it, Roger, is that if I jump into this for $9.95, you're giving me a great discount on Stealth Surge as well.
Yes, and if Stealth Surge is just basically me doing the work for you, and I show you in the Stealth Surge, excuse me, the data miner members area, I show you how to generate these trades and how to find them, and that's pretty much what I do in Stealth Surge. I find these trades on my own, and I go through these trades, and I show you exactly how I get them. Pays to be VIP on Roger. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you. Bob says
Oh,
Roger
yeah.
does great job for us. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are very, very kind of you for very, very nice of you guys for reposting that or posting that. Very, very nice of you. You guys are doing a great job.
So,
And yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
no, I was
Robert.
going to say, Roger, this is sort of related to a question that came up, but one of the things that kind of really blows my mind about this is that, for example, we're so focused on the here and now, what's going on in the markets now. We're sitting there going like, how in the heck can something like a seasonality thing help guide me through this process? Well, if you go back through 30 years, think of everything that's happened on 30 years, assuming a stock has been in play for 30 years or since
Right.
it IPO'd,
And,
everything that's happened there, and it still holds.
well, what I think, and I think the reason for that is that you have these institutional investment funds, pension funds. That's what really provides liquidity for the market, pension
Yeah,
funds.
good
And
point.
these pension funds, they get into a cycle of they program their what did you say, Vivek? Programs. Look at what Vivek just wrote.
I know. I'm just going to repost that
Oh,
here.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been trading the E-minis. That he's been trading my day trading program. Uh, Here's what I think, and this is just a theory. I can't prove this, but what I think happens is these programs they're based on a program. No, they're not a manual person. They're based on an algo. And I think what happens is the algos just get programmed and they leave them on autopilot for years and years and years because all they're doing is slowly accumulating shares without and selling shares without disturbing the market. It's basically like a whale that goes in and out of the ocean without making waves, or disturbing the ecosystem, if you will, So, and as long as they do that, the algos don't need to be changed. So I think it's a matter of certain practices that are just being repeated over time.
Yeah.
Like somebody who has the same, like take people. They come to work at the same time, they leave at the same time, they go to the same store after work, they have the
Buy the
same
same
habits.
food. Yeah.
Right. And I think these algos are just pretty much just, if nothing is broken, why mess with something that works? And I think that what's happening is these institutions, and further, I think what's happening is these institutions, they're not stupid. They're just as smart as I am, if not smarter. And they created the same kind of correlation studies and seasonality studies, and they're basically saying to themselves, okay, we know that this is a window. We're all going to go buy around this time, and you're seeing a confirmation of that, if you will.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of that. But here is what I will tell you, and this is the gold mine, Raleigh. When I get a situation where I go on my top 10 window or my top 5 window, and I'll get 3 stocks in the same industry, that to me is gold. Because what that's telling me now is, why are algos buying the same 3 stocks during the same 4-day period?
Mm-hmm.
And why have they been doing the same thing for 20 years? Why are the same algos buying airline stocks? Why are they buying? So to me, having the clues that this gives me is just as important, if not as important, as the actual signals.
Absolutely.
Because that's important. How about this, guys? How about this? You got your favorite semiconductor stock, okay? You're about to go long, and it's right around Valentine's Day. Now, if you don't know anything about seasonality, you don't know what that means. But if you know about seasonality, then you know that Valentine's is the strongest period for semiconductor stocks. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I have no clue why.
It just is.
It just is. It just is. Semiconductor stocks love to go up around Valentine's. I don't know why, and I really don't care. It makes no difference to me, but they do. They do. So I'm not going to go shorting semiconductor stocks around Valentine's. I don't care how great the pattern is. I'm just not going to do it.
No.
Maybe I'll go long. Maybe I won't do anything, but I'm not going to go short. But do you see my point? And this can tell you that. So why not have the tailwind at your back, helping you with this?
Exactly. And Roger, there's a flip side to this too, which I think is really important. And that's what you call the cold spot. So let's say, how many of us, everybody out, we've been in a situation where the fundamentals and the technicals are telling us that we need to go long on a particular stock. It's telling us, every bone in our body is telling us this is the right thing to do, only to have the trade go massively against us. Well, what if you could go into the data miner and you notice that during this period, this stock typically loses 5.6%. Okay, that would warn you off of a trade that everything else tells you makes sense. So, Roger, even if people just use it for confirmation or to stay out of a bad trade, it has huge value.
Exactly. There's a lot of value here, folks. I use this. So I use this when I'm putting in trades. I use this for confirmation for almost every trade. And as soon as and boy oh boy, when you guys don't realize, I'm telling you this because I didn't realize this. So there's no way you could realize this. You guys don't realize how correlated most stocks are to each other. You guys don't even have a clue. When you see how correlated they are, you're going to change completely how you trade stocks. There's a reason why you don't see me putting 5, 6, 7, 8 positions on. You don't understand the level of correlation between 2 stocks. So, and when you see it, you will say, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm putting these positions together. I might as well just buy a triple leveraged ETF. But most of you, I would say 85, 90% of you are at any given time are violating correlation rules.
Mm-hmm. And especially with all the algorithmic trading that's going on, Roger, those correlation, it's exaggerated because you just can't do it in your own mind. I mean,
right. But when you see how it took me an actual numeric, it took me a few months of actually looking at the data to see. Now, I knew that I looked at this data 20 years ago, so this is not a surprise to me. Uh, but one of the reasons why, if you look at how I trade the pit, notice I'm in one, maybe two. I'm never in more. And if I usually go long short. It's because of how correlated most stocks are. The degree of correlation that you have is probably 5 times more than you think it is. Okay. So it's very hard not to trade correlated stocks. You got to go out of your way not to trade. So this matrix, once I put it, I'm going to work on the next couple of weeks. It shouldn't be very difficult to do. But once we put this in, I think data miner will be very cool because you'll be able to do seasonality studies and you'll be able to do correlation studies. So it'll be a double. It'll really be, the name data miner will be that much more. That
on steroids.
Yes. Trish, this has nothing to do with Maverick. Maverick looks for trades over the weekend based on how overextended volatility is. This is looking for seasonality patterns. It's about as different as chocolate and beer. That's probably a good example.
That's a good example.
That's a good example. Like they have like sushi and jam. Like they have no correlation with each other. Totally apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. All right, folks. I'm glad I was able to help you out. I hope you take advantage of this because I'm going to tell you something. As soon as I release the update to Data Miner, the correlation, there's no way in living hell I'm going to be selling this thing for $9.95. There's no way in hell I'll be selling it because I'm going to be doubling the value. So there's no way I'm going to be selling it for $9.95. So my suggestion is take advantage of it now before it's too late. Stop monkeying around. Right, Raleigh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just amazed that it is at this price, Roger. And once again, as you said, this is something that you'll use it every day in your trading. And with the enhancements that you're bringing, more and more. The thing is this, guys, I hope everybody understands here that there's a lot of ways to trade the markets, okay? And having data miner and seasonality in your court is just going to enhance your ability to leverage what you do and show you some new opportunities.
Or keep you out of trouble.
Yes, and keep you out of trouble.
Believe it or not, I'm telling you, a lot of times you want to buy something, and you look at the seasonality, and you're like, and you're like, I think I'll just skip it. Or sometimes you want to buy something, and you look up the seasonality, and you'll find 3 related stocks. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, I've hit
the mother load. Yep.
You got to put it's not just one thing, folks. You got to take the situation and put all of the facts on your side. That way, that's how you gain an unfair advantage. All right. On that note, that's a good note to finish on. You could do this in your IRA. You could do this in a small account. You could paper trade this. But this is another way of gaining unfair advantage using data. Raleigh, I'll see you later. You have a great afternoon. And thank you for being my co-host and my co-pilot here. All right.
Oh, you're welcome, Roger. Always enjoy working with you, folks. That was Roger Scott sharing, if you will, the fundamental platform that he used.